Good morning, everybody. You tuned into Cragcore. So, I don't know if anybody's noticed this morning. By the way, thank you for tuning in. I don't know if anybody's noticed this morning, but the skies are extremely overcast today. Now, just going back to the video that I posted yesterday with regards to, the chemtrails. I heard something about this. I forgot to mention it on the video yesterday. I heard about this, and this guy basically said, it's a couple of months ago now, this guy basically said that every time he sees that there's like chemtrails and stuff up in the sky, it's always overcast the following day. There's always loads and loads of clouds. And he personally believes that because of that, this is down to weather control. Now, this got me thinking this morning. Because I'm looking out the window here and I'm thinking, well, the sky is extremely overcast. I mean, how do they predict the weather? I mean, maybe they've been doing this for years. And that's how they can say, oh yeah, it's going to be raining tomorrow. Because, well, let's face it, they make it rain. And I don't mean with money, They're not driving around with the sunroof open screaming money ain't a thing, But anyway, if you could see what I'm seeing right now, as far as the eye can see, and there's quite a lot of rural kind of landscape around here, which means you can see quite far. So basically, there's a fair few miles there, and all the way to the horizon, in every single direction, it is a thick blanket of grey cloud. Now, as I was saying yesterday in that video, the clouds of the olden days used to be fluffy, shapely kind of clouds, whereas this is just a thick, fuzzy blanket. In the distance over there's a few shapely clouds. I will say that. But anyway, like I said, it got me thinking this morning. Maybe these people, these oligarchs that are up, because they're controlling the weather, man. They are clearly controlling the weather, because if they can put clouds up there, which then make it rain, well, they're controlling the weather, aren't they? It's weather modification, which alludes to the whole, cutting out the sun kind of vibe to all of this, for whatever purpose, whether it's global warming, or whether it's the whole evolution vibe. It's shutting out the sun as a byproduct nonetheless. Whether that's the first and foremost, like I said, there's many things to this, but perhaps they already know. I mean, there is this fucking winter weather depression thing, isn't there, that people sometimes get? I can't remember what it's called now. Is it SAD? Very well named. Yeah, the weather disorder thing, where in the winter people just get sad and depressed. Now, they obviously know this. I mean, they know that this is the thing, that people get depressed when it's cloudy and it's grey and it's fucking wintry. So you'd have to assume then that as another byproduct of all of this, they're not only controlling the weather, but they are controlling people's fucking emotions too, and how they feel. So I don't know, man. I mean, maybe it goes this deep. Maybe it's this subtle as well, though. Maybe if they want to create a certain level of emotion and depression or whatever in an area, in any given area, because they're going to bring in certain fucking regimes. I mean, I'm looking at this on a grand scale here and probably making 5 out of 2 + 2 again, Mr. Orwell. But I think there's something to it. I mean, I'm going to have to say, if you want to control and manipulate the world, and you want to do it in a fashion that the people actually don't know it's happening to them, well, you're going to have to keep it on a subtle vibe. I mean, they would never ever assume, would they, that you're manipulating them and making them, you know, pliable and malleable with regards to what they accept based on how they feel on any given day. You know, by the fucking weather. I mean, it's a perfect crime, isn't it? Anyway, fucking got you sussed. I'm just saying it's a possibility. I mean, it would work though, wouldn't it? I mean, if you look at it, you could say, well, it would work. You know, it could help form opinion, because ultimately, if you get people good and depressed, oh, you know, say for instance, you're going to bring something out in the newspapers, or you're going to get your local councillor. The whole world's a stage, man. You get the local councillor that wants to bring in a certain fucking thing on that day or on that week, and you've got people really depressed and they think, oh, fuck it, can't be arsed anymore. They'll just accept anything, won't they? So, there you go. That is just a little bit of a add-on, an addendum, I suppose you could say, to yesterday's video with regards to chemtrails, because sometimes these videos make me think further about things, you know, as the days pass, and that's what's happened today. But anyway, today I wanted to just mention something to do with the testing things that go up your nose. I can't really say them again. It's got to be surreptitious again when we're talking about this subject, because, you know, you'll get banned. Now, how dare you have an opinion on something where the narrative is already set in stone, and how dare you fucking, you know, question it, because the truth dare not be questioned. So anyway, and that's a point though, isn't it? The truth is the truth. The truth welcomes questioning because it stands up to it. Oh, you know, if something's not the truth and it's fragile, then it doesn't want to stand up to any fucking sort of scrutiny, does it? No, it doesn't. And the people that are creating and controlling that narrative would therefore create a system where you aren't allowed to scrutinise it. But anyway, I mean, case in point, you know, what's going on in the world right now. But anyway, so speaking of such subject, now this is old news. I didn't realise. I only found out yesterday, but it's old news apparently. I think it was July this year, 2021, where Bill Gates and George Soros, oh, you know who I mean though, yeah? Soros, basically bought a testing company. It begins with M. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it does begin with M. Now, they bought this testing company in the UK. So, you know, basically up until this point though, tests have been free. But, you know, it's a for-profit that you can go on the Times website and have a look at this. Just type into Google. Just type into Google, Bill Gates buys, and then the word testing company. And you'll see, it says Bill Gates and George Soros buy this company. It's a for-profit company. And apparently they want to use the profits to help people. I mean, of course they do. That's of course what they're going to do. I mean, even if they do, you do know, don't you, that fucking these people set up charitable foundations to wash their money so they don't have to pay tax. I mean, it's a money laundering operation. You know, anybody that gives to charity doesn't get rich unless they're getting rich by giving to charity. Okay? You know when you're walking down the street and you give a tenner or a fiver or whatever it is you give to the Salvation Army or maybe just a homeless person on the street, are you any better off for it, you know, financially? If you did that on a large scale, would you be a rich person? No, you fucking wouldn't. That's the answer to that question. So unless you are doing this and making money from it, you're not going to stay very wealthy, are you? Now, I know people say, oh, well, they've got income from elsewhere and they can, you know, they can fucking live off the interest and, you know, they can fucking, you know, they can afford it. They got money coming in from other places. And you know what? Fair enough, I'll hold my hands up. Maybe that is the truth. Perhaps that's the case. You know, I'm not going to fucking be an idiot here and say, you know, whatever I'm saying is the truth. But I've got a strong suspicion, based on the other stuff that I've seen, that they set these things up as a way to wash their money, to launder their money basically, and not pay as much tax, and also then to actually make money from the charity itself, because these charities are classed as businesses, and they have a business number, and therefore they have CEOs which earn a wage, etc., etc. Look into it, man. I'm not chatting shit here. This is the truth, man. So I dare say that these people are doing it too, especially with the fact they're so fucking rich. They need ways to stay rich, don't they? So apparently that's what they're doing with it. Apparently they're doing this, and they're using the money to help, I think it was communities that haven't had any kind of development and stuff like that. But then again, that's another warning sign, because developing ghetto-like communities and places to live, that's another way that these people make money. They drive down the property value by allowing them to become ghettos in the first place in any given area, and then they buy it cheap, and then they, what do they do? Well, we're going to develop this area and turn it into somewhere nice. And that doesn't mean that they're going to give the people that live there somewhere nice to live. Oh, no. They move them out. And then what happens is they sell the property that they have now built on cheap land at a high price, making a massive fucking profit. Oh, yes. Under the guise of charity, no doubt. It's perfect, isn't it? Like I said, they've got to stay rich somehow, though, haven't they? These rich fuckers. And then they ship the fucking people out that have been living there, and then they use them to turn another place into another fucking... They move them somewhere else that's affordable, in their price bracket, because now they're on benefits. They've got to fucking do as they're told, and they've got to go and live somewhere that's within the price bracket of what the government is willing to pay for. Oh, guess what? It's another place of similar type of fucking, quality. Another ghetto type place. And then they drive the value of that place down, the land and all of that, over a number of years, and they do exactly the same again. It's a fucking cycle, it's a pattern, it's been going on for fucking years. And the unassuming public, they're just caught up in the system. Well, what can they do about it? They fucking just, they've got to go where they can afford to live, and they're just being used. Fucking hell. And this is what goes on, by the way, okay? This is where these people get their money. This is what they do. They invest in all kinds of fucking things like this, and they use the unassuming public as their puppets to do so. Okay? Now then, apparently that's what they want to do with their money. They want to develop somewhere for poor people. Oh yeah, of course they fucking do. Yeah. Anyway, that's what they're saying they're doing. And of course, it's how they make money. So anyway, nonetheless, they've bought this testing company. And funnily enough, just recently, in the UK, and I think it might be today, it's the, let me look for context, it's the 12th of October. And I think just recently, unless it's going to happen in the future, I don't want to nail this down here with a specific date because I don't want to get fucking banned for misinformation again. But at some point in the future, whether it's happened already or it's about to happen, I don't know. But at some point in the UK, these tests that are now going to be required, to find out whether you've got this fucking Ro-Ro thing, you're going to have to pay for them. They're no longer free. They're no longer going to be free. Oh, okay. Okay, then. So this is a for-profit company that is making profit now from selling you something which you now require. Now, I'm not done yet. I'm not done, because if you remember the video I did on Plan B, on the UK government's Plan B, it says clearly in fucking black and white on the government website, and go and check the link in the description box of that video, because you can read the document for yourself, and it says, and screenshot it, by the way, because these people can change things on a daily basis. So screenshot the fucker and make sure you've got a reference. So anyway, it says so on the website that these tests are now going to be needed should they implement this plan, by the way. Not at the minute, but should they implement this plan, tests will be needed as a way to prove your RoRo status if you aren't double pricked. Okay, so can you see where this is going? Can you see where I'm going with this? Because this is where it's going. Oh, by the way, you need to be double pricked to have a job. And then you say, I'm sorry, but I can't have the double prick for whatever reason. Okay, then. Well, now you've got your doctor's note. Okay? And you are exempt from this. You have to be tested every 3 or 4 days or so. Okay? But the tests aren't free. So you're going to spend, well, however much money it costs for these tests per week. Let's just say, for instance, it's 50 quid. It's 25 quid a test or something. I don't know how much they are. I'm just putting that number out there. I'm just kind of speculating here. Let's just say, for instance, it's 50 quid or so. You're gonna have to, even if it's 20 quid, if it's 10 quid a test, it's 20 quid a week or something, to be on the safe side. 20 quid a week. For how long? Forever? So you can work? Oh, I know. I'm gonna fucking pay for these tests just so I can go to work. I mean, what they're gonna do eventually, they're gonna say, well, have the prick then. Have the double prick. If you don't want to be spending money, just have the double prick. And then you don't have to spend 80 quid a month, Work that out per year. It's about £1,000 a year. So, if you're a person that's working on a budget, you're living on a budget, you're working a minimum wage job, can you afford £1,000 a year simply to go to work? Well, probably not. That's what I'm saying. So again, it's another way of coercing you and forcing you into saying, well, okay, I'll get the double prick then. What is so important about this thing? That they have to do this? This is the fucking point here. Why is it so important that they have to force you in such a way to do this? Because, okay, I mean, this is the thing, right? If this thing was so severe, if the RoRo was so fucking bad, you would fucking know it simply by looking out the door in the morning. It would be bring out your dead time, wouldn't it? Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. Like fucking whatever it was. Was it National Lampoons? No, it wasn't, was it? It was Monty Python, that's the one. Same difference. So anyway, you've got Monty Python's Bring Out Your Dead. Dead bodies fucking piled up on the back of wagons, man. You'd be rushing to the fucking prick centre, wouldn't you? I want to be a prick too, please. I'm sorry, it was a bad joke. No judgment included. Intended there. Just a joke. Someone's got to have the piss taken out of them, haven't they, for it to be funny. So anyway, you'd be queuing up there, wouldn't you? There would be no doubt whatsoever in anybody's mind that this thing was an absolute necessity to live, let alone work, to live. But people can see with their own eyes, actually, life's carrying on as normal. We're all driving to work, we're all going to work, we're all earning a living. This is completely fucking normal. Right? Anything that's not normal is the restrictions, like I said before. But if it was all that bad, that's what I'm saying, you'd know about it. So people would be queuing up. That's my point, man. And then still, if it really worked, would it still be going on? Fucking hell. No, is the short answer to that. So, let's just fucking look at this with an insightful eye and say to ourselves here that why on earth then? Or is it so important to these people that you must get it? I dare say, based on the subject of this video, it's about profit. I dare say it's about profit because somebody's manufacturing these pricks. And it seems to be that everything is fucking pushing people and guiding people to get this. And as I've said before, there are dual uses, just like with the chemtrails, he says as he looks up at the sky. There is multiple uses to these things that these people will implement. They won't just use one thing for one thing. They're going to try and get many things out of everything. You know, all bases covered, all angles accounted for. So I dare say that yes, there's profit involved in not only the tests, but also the pricks. And no doubt, it's not just profit. There's something else. There's got to be something else. With all the information that's out there, if these things were safe, and as safe as what these people say, people would be queuing up. If there wasn't any risks, people would be queuing up. Everybody, there would be no resistance, is what I'm saying. I know people are actually queuing up. All right, people are actually queuing up for these things. People are going unwillingly, I get that. But there wouldn't be any resistance at all, would there? If it was that serious, and if they were that safe, and there was no negative information out there that was really true, you've got to ask, would there be any resistance at all? No, there wouldn't be. Because people would see it in their best interests. But the fact that there is resistance shows you that there is at least some information out there that holds weight, you know, that holds an ounce of truth, to say that they're actually not safe, they don't work, and there is some sort of agenda behind why they're being forced so much on society, which is enough for me to say, well, hold on a minute. Do I really, really want to fucking go down this road? Because I don't want to be someone's puppet, man. If these people are this desperate to get you to do something, these horrible, evil people are so desperate to get you to do something, you've got to fucking question it, man. Just off that. These people aren't nice. They never do anything nice. Okay? And certainly not for the people whom they fucking govern. You know, the people, their actual employees, which is us. Let's not forget that. So anyway, let's just, let's just be careful with all of this. You know, we don't need to go overboard. We can be careful and just err on the side of caution and take our time in deciding what course of action we want to take. But, you know, do it with, you know, a bit of insight and clue yourself up on all of these subjects that I've mentioned. And you'll probably, you know, hopefully paint yourself the picture and, you know, make the right decision. So anyway, this is Crackcom. I'm going to sign off here. I think that this has been a good video. It's been a good video. I've enjoyed doing it, and thank you for watching. Thank you for all the subscribers. Thank you for taking the time to look at my channel if this is the first time you've looked at it. Thank you for the likes and the comments. I do appreciate every single one of them. If you've got anything that you'd like to be discussed on this channel, feel free just to drop a comment and I'll try and get round to that subject. This is Crackcom signing off. Love and peace to all things everywhere. Peace.